So hello everyone. Through this we'll discuss the different kinds of variables available in Java. But whenever you are discussing regarding other languages, we deal with two different types of variables. One is your local variable and global variable. Okay. And if you'll consider one more thing, you also can get the idea of static variable. Okay. But in Java, first of all, we'll discuss why variable is required. Okay. Now, if you'll see, whenever you are declaring any variable, till now through program also you have written integer number equal to 20. Okay. Now, what is this 20 is all about? It's the value whatever you are storing in a particular location. Okay. So JVM will store 20 at a particular location, suppose 1000. Okay. But for that location, one identifier is required or one name you have to provide. So that name we have given number. Okay. So variable is nothing but it's a name of the memory location. Okay. Second, variable is assigned with a data type. Obviously, you cannot declare one variable without data type. Third thing, it holds a value. Okay. If you are not providing the value, then JVM will automatically provide one default value as per the data type. Done. And the last point, if you want, you can change the value of the variable. Then this 20 will be modified to 30. So this is what variable is all about. Now variable is required to store the value in a particular location along with a data type, and if you are not providing the value, JVM will provide you the default value of the data type, and the value can be changed. Okay. Now if you see the different types of variables, it is of three types. One is your local variable, second one is your instance variable, third one is your static variable. Clear? Now let's see through the example that why actually three different types of variables are required. Okay. Clear? Now let's define a class. Here one show method I am defining. Inside that I am declaring the variable number. Okay. This is known as your local variable in Java. Clear? So that means any variable which is declared inside a method of a class is known as the local variable. Clear? Now how to access that one? So I'll define the main method. Okay. And to access the method of a particular class, we need the object of that particular class. Okay. And we'll access that one, the method, by calling the through the object. Okay. Now let's save the file. Go to command prompt. Compilation done. We have not printed the value, but we have not got any kind of error message. Okay. So local variable value equal to 20. Now, once again, if you see, local variable means any variable which is declared inside a method of a particular class. Okay. But what is the problem with this local variable? If I'll write void display. Okay, suppose I want to print the same message inside display method, and I'll call display method by using the object. Like show method, I'm also calling the display method by using the object. Okay, so let's check. See the message, cannot find symbol num. Clear? So num is not visible to display method. Why? Because it is declared inside the show method, and its life, its scope is limited to that method where it is declared. Clear? I'm just putting the display method inside comment line, and I'll show something interesting here. Suppose I want to print the value through the object. Clear? I can access the data members of the class by using the object. So I am thinking that this number belongs to the class because it is declared inside the class. So I am calling, or I am accessing the number variable through the object of that particular class. Okay, inside the main method. See, the same error message is coming. Cannot find symbol number. Okay, so that means any local variable, whatever you are declaring inside a method, can only be accessed inside the same method. If you are going out of the method, then you cannot access that particular variable. Clear? So local variables are having some limitation that you can access the data member or the variable inside the same method where it is declared. You cannot access outside the method by using the object of that particular class also. Clear? Okay. Now to overcome that particular drawback, what we are doing, I am declaring another variable under the class, and this is known as a instance variable. Clear? So that means any variable which is declared inside the class but outside the method is known as your instance variable. Clear? Now what is the use of this instance variable? Inside the display method, I am printing value. I am calling the display method here. So whatever the drawbacks were there in the local variable, we are trying to overcome that through the instance variable. Clear? I am declaring the instance variable once. I am accessing inside the method of the class. I am accessing outside the class also by using the object. Okay. So let's check. Done. Got the value. So let's change the message. Instance variable value. Here also instance variable value. Done. So whatever the drawbacks are there in the local variable, we have modified, or we got, or we have overcome that particular problem through the use of instance variable. So instance variable and local variable, what is the difference? Local variable will be declared inside the method of the class and can be accessed inside the same method where it is declared. Instance variable are the variables which we are declaring inside the class but outside the method, so that you can access the value of that particular instance variable inside any method of the class or outside the class but through the object. Clear? But we are having some limitations of instance variable also. How we will know that? Let's do one thing. We are incrementing the value of the variable. Okay. Let's, I'm not writing this statement. I'm creating one more object. ob1, then ob1 dot display. Clear? Okay, so let's do some rough work, then we'll see the output. Okay, so initially what we have done, we have declared one object, and what is the name of the object? Ob. So once we will declare the object, the memory for value variable will be assigned, and value is now 50. Clear? So by using show method, forget about this. This is the use of the local variable. Now you are concentrating on the concept of instance variable. Ob.display. Now coming here, value plus plus. This value is modified to 51, and we are getting the value, instance variable value is 51. Clear? Second, what we have done, we have created the object for ob1. Instantly the instance variable will get memory inside that, and remember 50 will be assigned. Why? Because this instance variable is local to the object. Anytime the object will be created, the instance variable will get memory inside that, and whatever the value you have initialized, the same value will be assigned. Whatever you have modified through the previous object is not going to be reflected to the other objects. Okay, now whenever I'll call ob1.display, again value plus plus, whose value? It depends by using which object you have called the display method. You have used ob1, so ob1's value will be incremented. Okay, so this value will become 51 by incrementing 50. So again you are getting the output 51. Clear? So that means instance variable is local to every object. Clear? So like all of you are having your class note. Okay, so that class note belongs to you only. So how many number of class notes are there? Now any number of students are available, that many number of class notes are there, because those are belonging to the student individually. Clear? Whatever you are writing, you are modifying, you are drawing your own picture in your copy while teaching you Java. Suppose you are playing the Sudoku game. So whatever you are doing, that is only reflected to you. That is not reflected to others. So that is the use of your instance variable. So instance variable is separate or individual to every object. Clear? Let's see the output. Check. Instant variable of value of is 51, instant variable value 51. Clear? So instead of incrementing twice, because you are calling the display method twice by using ob as well as by using ob1, but the value is not reflected to others. Clear? Okay, now this is what the drawback of instance variable. That means I have incremented, I have modified something, means I am expecting that modification should be reflected to everyone, but it is not going to be reflected to everyone. It is only reflected to me only, because I have done the modification. Okay, now to overcome this particular drawback, what we are doing, we are taking the help of one more keyword, that is static. Okay, now I am writing static number equal to 30. Clear? So static variable and instant variable, what is the difference? The only difference is the keyword static. Clear? Like instance variable, static variable is also declared inside the class but outside the method. Okay, and what is the use of that? So let's do one thing. Inside the same variable, okay, I am displaying the content. Okay, like the instance variable statement, we are doing the same thing for static variable. Okay, let's put a print message so that you can distinguish. This is OB, this is OB1. Okay. So through OB you are calling the display method, and through OB1 also you are calling the display method. Inside the display method, what you are doing? You are incrementing the content of instance variable. You are also incrementing the content of static variable. Now let's see what is actually the difference you are getting through the output. Compilation done successfully. So values of OB, you are getting the instance variable value as 51, static variable value is 31, because you have incremented 30 to 31. Values of OB1, now instance variable is same 51, because this is local to the object, but whenever you are seeing the content of the static variable, you are getting 32. That means the modified content. Clear? Now how this is happening? Okay, let's see some rough work. So first of all, you are creating the object or allocating memory for object OB, sorry, OB1, and before that you have done for OB. Okay. Now inside OB, memory will be allocated for instance variable. So value equal to 50. Clear? OB dot display I am calling number plus plus. But where is number? Number is not available inside OB. Whenever any static variable will be declared in your class, that static variable doesn't belongs to the object. Static variable belongs to the class. Remember. Clear? So static variable belongs to the class, and every object will access the same static variable among themselves. Clear? Like you are declaring OB1, value also get memory, and the value will be 50. Clear? And that is individual to every object. Okay, that is the use of the instance variable. But whenever you are discussing about static variable doesn't belongs to the object individually. It belongs to the class. So sometimes this static variable is also known as class variable, because it belongs to the class. Okay, and all objects will access to that particular variable. Okay, so whenever I am calling ob.display, in coming here number plus plus, so that number became 31, value became 51. So whenever I am printing the value, instance variable is currently 51, and what is the static variable? 31. Done. This is normal, nothing, there is no problem. Whenever I am calling through OB1, the display method, number plus plus, where is the number? Number doesn't belongs to the object, number belongs to the class. So now what is the content of number? 31 will be incremented to 32. And what is value plus plus? Value is individually of the object. So by using which object you have called? OB1. So OB1's value will be incremented. So whenever you will print the instance value, this is again 51, but static variable 32. Clear? To get an overall idea, now suppose this is we are conducting the offline class. This is my blackboard. Clear? Where I am writing. Okay, you individually available inside the class. Okay, now this you can say is the static variable. This, the pen and this copy, whatever you have used or whatever you are using inside the classroom, is your instance variable. Clear? So any changes you are making inside your copy, okay, so that is only visible to you. So that is your instance variable. But whatever I am writing, suppose I am writing hi, so that is visible to everyone. Yes or no? So that is my use of static variable. Suppose student 1 has come and has modified hi to hello. Now hello is also visible to me. Hello is also visible to student number 1. Hello is also visible to student number 2. Hello is also visible to student number 3. Now student number 3 has come, erased hello and written bye. Now bye is visible to student number 2. Bye is also visible to student number 1. Bye is visible to student number 3. Bye is also visible to me, because This blackboard doesn't belongs to any individual student. It belongs to the institute. Clear? So you can say now this is an institute variable, but this instance variable or your copy belongs to you. That you can say this is a student variable, the copy. Clear? So if you'll see in details the difference between all three different types of variables, local variables are only declared inside the method of the class and only visible to that method itself. Clear? Now whenever you are coming for instance variable is visible to everyone, but this is individual to every object. Any modification will be done in the instance variable will only be reflected to that object, not to any other object. But if you consider static variable, this is common to all because that belongs to the class, not any individual object. Clear? So this is what the overall idea or the clear idea of what is the use of individual variables. Clear? Now let's discuss it theoretically. Now what you have discussed, this is declared inside the body of the method. Obviously, it can be used only within the method it is declared. We have seen that whenever you are using or accessing the local variable outside the method, you are getting an error message. Clear? This is not visible to other methods in the class regarding the existence of the local variable. Clear? Nobody knows that. Okay, so that is what your local variable. Clear? Now coming to the next one, instance variable. This is declared inside the class but outside the method. This is important. Outside the method. Okay, this is the value object specific because individually every object will have this instance variable locally. Clear? But it cannot be accessed among other objects. So whatever you have modified through OB1 is not accessible to other object OB2 because this is object specific. Clear? Now coming to the last one, static variable, very important. Now it is declared inside the class like the instance variable but outside the method using static keyword. Clear? It cannot be declared as local because every variable, every static variable is common to all the objects. Static variable is not for individual objects, it is common to all objects. Okay, so it cannot be declared as local. A single copy is created and shared by all objects of the class because it's a class variable. Okay, it's a class variable which is created only once and can be accessed by all the objects of that particular class. Then that is what we have written here. The memory allocation for static variable done only once as it belongs to the class, not to the object. Okay, so here you have to put the emphasis and you have to understand the difference between instance variable and the static variable. Instance variable is object specific, static variable is class specific. Clear? Once a single memory will be allocated for static variable will be accessed by every other object of that particular class. Clear? Now by using you can see the example, you can recall it. Inside the method of the class you have declared the variable, you can consider this as local variable. Whenever you are declaring any variable outside the method inside the class with static keyword, it's a static variable. Without static keyword, it's an instance variable. Clear? So we have seen all the usage of different kinds of variables through example. Clear? Now here Java provides one more important characteristics, that is your typecasting. Clear? So what is the need of typecasting? Typecasting means suppose you have declared one integer variable. Okay, you want to store the integer variable in another data type, but Java there is a strongly type checking mechanism is there. Okay, so two things you are doing: either you are assigning the value of a variable of a particular data type into another data type where the destination data type size is more, or the destination data type size is less. Clear? So if you are assigning the data type variable to the destination where the destination size is more, then that is the typecasting is done automatically, and the concept is known as widening. Clear? So widening means you are assigning the data value of a data type to a larger size data type, that is known as a widening, and which is done automatically. Clear? Like suppose uh, you consider your own example. Okay, so you are going through a particular door. Okay, and where the size matches as per your size, the size of the door matches as per the size of your body. Clear? Now for example, you want to cross a particular door whose size is more than the previous one, so obviously you can go, not a problem. So that conversion is not required. This is done automatically. Why? Because previously whatever the door size was there was small, now the door size is more. So in widening concept, you are assigning the value of a variable to a variable of larger size. Clear? So widening will be automatically done, and number and value, both the variables value will be printed successfully without any error message. But whenever you are going for the reverse concept, you have to assign the value of a variable to another data type whose size is smaller than the source. Okay, there you have the concept of narrowing will become. Okay, and that will be done manually, that will not be done automatically. You can see this particular example. The value is 10.5 of which type? Double type. I want to assign to integer. So if I write like the previous concept, integer number equal to value, then compile time error will be shown. Why? Because size of value is more. Like you consider the example of the previous one. Suppose you are fit to this particular door, the larger door. If you want to go through this particular smaller door, then you are not allowed, because you cannot go that through that particular door. Why? Because the size of your body is much more than the size of the second door. Clear? So for that you have to typecast it. How you have to typecast? You have to give a message to JVM that I want to convert the value of double into integer, and then I want to store in integer variable. Then only what will happen? Out of 10.5, the integer part 10 will be stored in the integer variable. So here we have converted the double value into integer. Clear? Manually. And this is known as your narrowing or typecasting. So overall, typecasting is of two types. One is your done automatically, another you have to do manually. So whenever the smaller size data type you are storing in or converting to larger type data type, then that will be done, typecasting will be done automatically. Whenever the reverse you are doing, this larger size value you are storing in a smaller size data type, then you have to do the conversion manually by specifying the destination data type within the bracket. Clear? You can see this particular example. In data type chapter, we have discussed the size of byte or the range of byte. Okay, the range of byte we have seen. What is that? Minus 128 to 127. Okay, so this is what the cycle. If you will represent, this is 0, 1. In positive side, this is 127. Negative side, this is minus 128. Okay, now integer number equal to 128 can be stored because 120 is coming within the range of integer. But whenever I want to store that integer value in byte variable, I have to do typecasting. Clear? So what will happen? Now how this conversion will be done? First it will check in the byte side what is the maximum range in the positive side? 127. But I want to print the next value. Clear? The next value of 127, because that is what 128 is all about. So after 127, what is the value present in byte data type? Now this is minus 128. So that means if you'll print the value of number as integer, you will get 128. But whenever you will print the value of byte value, you will get minus 128. Why minus 128? Because the cycle will go on. Okay, because you have done the conversion manually. You want to store the integer value in byte data type. And after 127, 128 you want to print. So what is 120 after 127? It's minus 128. For example, suppose I want to store 130. Okay, so 130 means after 127, what is the value in byte? Minus 128, minus 127, minus 126. Clear? So you will get the output of integer as 128, not a problem. But whenever you are converting to byte, the cycle will go on. Clear? So this will be considered as 128, 129, 130. So what is 130? The 130 is all about minus 126. So you'll get the output as minus 126 in byte type. Clear? So this is what overflow of variable. Whenever you are assigning any value beyond the range of a particular data type, the cycle will continue. Okay, and as for that, you will get some value which is unexpected because of the concept of overflow of the variable. Clear? So this is what the overall idea regarding variables, its usage, typecasting, and overflow of the variables. Clear? So thank you everyone.